So I don't really cover VTubing stuff on my channel all that much, right? But whenever I have covered it in the past, it always seems to be the same for the same reasons. And it's not like that's a good thing. No, if anything, it's a terrible thing. And it's always got to do with the agencies that manage this managing these VTubers, right? In the past, it's always been about HoloLive, okay? And like HoloLive, they've been accused of multiple different like terrible things when it comes to censorship and suspension of talent, the way they treat their talent, management practices, content control restrictions, releasing some people under circumstances that are deemed unnecessary, and also the way that they handle harassment and toxic fans. So they have been no short of like a lot of controversy HoloLive in the past, but it's not just HoloLive as well. That's the thing, is that like majority of these VTubing agencies, whenever I've heard anything about them, it's never good. And now we have another controversy with VShojo. So they are like, I would say that HoloLive, at least from like my perspective, okay, I might be wrong on this, but from my perspective, HoloLive, when it came to like the agency for VTubing, they were like #1, and VShojo was always like #2. Like, even though I'm not big in the space, I still kind of know a little bit about it, right? And maybe not at this point in time, but HoloLive was like at least #1 from like my point of view, right? But now it seems that just like HoloLive, they are starting to go under, where IronMouse, who is arguably the biggest like VTuber, at least in the English speaking realm, because when it comes to Japanese VTubers, they're in a whole nother, like, you know, fucking realm of themselves, okay? The VTubing in Japan, humongous, right? But when it comes to at least English and Spanish speaking, is that IronMouse is #1, but she has now seemingly left VShojo, and it's for a couple reasons, and some of these reasons are very alarming to say the least, with her coming out and making a video about this, with one of the reasons being that she is actually owed a significant amount of money, not just to herself, but also to the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which, if you don't know, IronMouse actually suffers from an immune deficiency. So she has set up a foundation to help, you know, other people with that deficiency. So not only is she owed money, but so is her foundation.
I am leaving VShojo. Unfortunately, I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by VShojo. With the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I am here today, is owed over $500,000 from VShojo. I know that this is a lot, and it's very important for me to be honest with all of you. I really want to tell you everything, but unfortunately right now, I have been instructed by my attorney to wait for more of the legal procedure to unfold. So one day, I will be able to tell you the full story.
Over $500,000. That's why when it comes to VTubing drama, a lot of the times, I don't really care too much about it. Doesn't really interest me all that much. But the fact that this is like an agency that's legitimately treating their employees like absolute shit, and then on top of like owing the creators money, they now owe a foundation. Like, that's even more evil. Like, it's bad enough you owe someone money and you're not paying someone correctly, but now you're not paying a fucking foundation that's trying to help people with a deficiency. Like, how scummy do you have to be? And then not only that, but IronMouse also talked about the pressure that she felt from VShojo, and also the fact that she felt restricted as well.
How important I was for the company. And I was always told that I was needed in order for the company to succeed. Although that was very positive to hear, it put a lot of pressure and a lot of stress on me, to the point where I felt guilt-tripped into signing. I felt responsible for everybody. I felt responsible for staff and talent alike. And I felt like if I didn't do this, and if I didn't stay, I was hurting everybody and I was destroying everybody's life. But this didn't feel right with me, and I began to feel extremely uncomfortable. As my viewers know, privacy has always been one of my biggest concerns. I've had a lot of scary experiences in my life, So, one amazing thing for me was the fact that VShojo handled all my payments, and it meant that I never had to give out any of my personal information. So, that was always a blessing to me. As time went on, I decided that I wanted to try to start pulling out my remaining funds because I wanted to start taking over my own finances. This is what led me to this point.
And like I said at the start of the video, is that is what's with a lot of these like VTubing agencies, right? And like I've seen this in the past of when it comes to normal agencies. Like years ago, it was Machinima. If you don't know, Machinima was like a gaming company back in like the 2010s. Like when really like YouTubing started, Machinima would sign a lot of like gaming YouTubers to their brand, and their contracts that like Machinima would get these people to sign, they were like illegal contracts. Like these contracts, every single contract legally has to have an end date, and these Machinima contracts legitimately didn't have an end date, and they would take away a lot of the funds from people. And because a lot of these people who were like, you know, on gaming YouTubers that were very young, they didn't know too much about it, so they just saw an opportunity and just signed their life away, really. And that's what I think that a lot of these VTubers have done, where like VTubing is still relatively new, so these agencies have been able to get away with so much because these creators just see like, oh, I have an opportunity to sign with this agency with other VTubers, it's going to be really great for my career, and they don't really look into the contracts themselves and also the agency themselves as well. So the agencies get away with a lot of crap for a long time. But I feel like because of this, like with HoloLive coming out in the past, I remember there was like a HoloLive controversy. I can't remember if it was earlier this year or sometime last year. No, it was I think it was this year. It was with like another VTubing creator as well. So the fact that HoloLive is starting to go downhill, and now with this, I reckon VShojo is going to start going downhill. It's about time that these fucking agencies started to diminish, because they shouldn't be treating these people like fucking subhuman. Like, I know a lot of people's opinions on VTubers are very mixed and they don't really like VTubers, but like, big shit, all right? Like if you don't like it, it doesn't really fucking matter. The fact that they're using people is even worse. And then I saw this come out as well, where this Japanese like published author, she came out and she made this massive tweet where apparently there was this person that was in one of these VTubing companies. It's not really alluding to VShojo, but some people are starting to like put two and two together. The fact that like this VShojo stuff is starting to come out, and now this author has published this tweet as well, talking about how like the reason why people do VTubing a lot of the times is because they don't want to show their face on the camera, but they still want to have some kind of, you know, interaction with their audience one way or another, where this person was going out and actually showing photos of these VTubers, of their real selves, where a lot of people want to keep themselves private, but they were, you know, just willingly showing other people what they look like in real life and actually revealing some of their personal info. So that's even like another thing to add on to this. The fact that, you know, first these agencies are treating them like shit, and now there's people that are working for these companies that are, you know, where they're supposed to be holding your private info. They're basically leaking private stuff about you where you don't want that to be leaked. And then I also saw it's been circulating online as well and through Twitter, is that a lot of people who previously, like these VTubers who had VShojo in their bios, have actually gotten rid of it altogether. So it seems that because of this IronMouse situation that's going on, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to start following IronMouse and actually seemingly leave the company, which good. I hope that all of these VTubing agencies, like, they go underneath. They really should. And I think that's what's going to happen with this, is that, like I mentioned when it came to Machinima years ago, is that like previously when it came to these like big agencies and these collaborative groups that people would have, they were run by like corporate people who took advantage of creators. And then once those like corporate people got exposed and those companies like Machinima started to go under, then that's when it kind of like sparked a lot of independent creator groups, you know, like Offline TV, AMP, OTK, all creator groups like that. So I feel like that's what's going to happen in the VTubing space, and I'm actually pretty sure that it's already started to happen as well, where some VTubers who have left, like HoloLive and VShojo, have already started to create like independent creator groups, like there has been with, like, you know, regular creators. But at least the one good thing that did come out of all of this is that IronMouse did launch a donation of when it came to her immune deficiency foundation. The goal was only $10,000 and they raised over $105,000. 1,000, which is absolutely fucking insane. Say what you want about the VTubing space, okay? When it comes to their fan base, they are loyal ass motherfuckers. They are some of the most loyal fans that you will ever meet out of any creator space. But this whole entire situation is still pretty shitty. But I would definitely like to hear what you guys think about this down below. That's going to be from me. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.